Hey y'all, it's been a minute. Welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of our favorite shows. I had to take them reading glasses off. My eyes are done for the night. They're done. Okay. Anyway, like I said, welcome back to the channel. This particular review, we're going to wrap up Family Empire Houston. It's season one. I did not ever review the last two episodes. My bad, y'all. Y'all already know. Went back to school, busy. And I didn't realize last week was the season finale. I did not realize that. So, and I have been wanting to come to y'all with episode seven because I had a lot of thoughts on episode seven. So here we are. Y'all, hold on a second. I didn't realize this other light was not on. So let me go turn the light on. Hold on, y'all. We're going to just take a pause for the calls. Hold on. Okay, we back. Now I don't know if it added to it, but it's on. So anyway, before we get into it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me, please, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. I am trying to get back in the algorithm. I'm trying to, stay relevant on YouTube. I'm trying to keep up with the things. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought of these last two episodes. Share the video where you like to share your content. Turn on the bell for the notifications. Subscribe to the channel. All the good things. Thank y'all for continuing to support me, even though I've been, not there when y'all call, but I've been on time, but I've been late. Y'all know what I mean. Anyway, but y'all been in them comments. I said y'all coming through in them comments. Y'all better come through. And y'all had a lot to say about Family Empire Houston, so I did not want to leave y'all hanging on that. Okay, I did start reviewing Detroit. If Detroit get on my nerves, it will get kicked to the curb. Okay, so just be aware of that. We're done with Huntsville for now. I think Huntsville comes back in November. Thank God for the break. Um, Ready to Love, I think it's coming back in October. I may be on vacation when it comes back, so I may miss the first episode. But we're gonna get now. Ready to Love, we not gonna play with Ready to Love. As far as the Braxtons go, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to catch up on them. I will probably watch it. I can't promise y'all I will come back with the Braxton reviews. If you guys are interested in catching up with the Braxtons, or me catching up with the Braxtons, whether do we do a live or we just talk about all the episodes we missed on here, let me know. I don't even know what episode they're on. I don't know if we too far gone to catch up. Let me know if y'all think it's worth it. Should we catch up on the Braxtons and let the Braxtons go? Because it's been rough with the Braxtons, okay? I've been hearing what's going on. It's been rough. Tay Martin lost her mind. It's been rough. So it may not even be worth our time getting into the Braxtons, but we definitely going to talk about Family Empire Houston. So let's get to the video. So since it's two episodes, we are definitely not going to go, scene by scene by scene like we normally do. But we're gonna hit the major scenes. So episode seven basically had picked up at the crawfish boil where the family was going head to head. Everybody was arguing, fussing, and fighting. Everybody was telling each other shut up and all this stuff. And they was feeling like Keisha, because Keisha's basically was saying if it was for Aunt Jackie, like she would not have ever been able to come around the family because Bubba, her daddy, was never going to bring her around. And I agree. Because he had not done it in 7 years, no, he was not going to do it. And Monet and Joy and whoever else was like, but how do you know he wasn't going to do it? How do you know he wasn't going to do it? You didn't give him a chance. No, he was not going to do it. He was not, because he didn't have to. Because if you really wanted to bring that child along, you would have made sure it happened in the beginning. You were not going to bring that child along. You were not. I don't believe Bubba would have done it. He gives very much, I don't know. You can look at him and see the energy he exude that he was not going to do it. I'm sorry. He didn't. If y'all thought he was going to do it, let me know in the comments. Because I didn't. That's not what I was getting. That's not what I was getting. So then they all got into it, and somebody said something about, I don't know if it was one of the aunties said something about Joy didn't want Keisha to come to the house. And so Keisha's like, boom, there it is. We already knew that. And it's sad, right? At the end of the day, that's a kid. She didn't do anything to cause the problem. I get Joy has to see the hurt and the reminder of, the infidelity in her relationship, but, that's still a kid. And I know there's been a lot of mixed feelings in the comments about this situation, whether Jackie was wrong or right and who should have minded their business and not. Y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments for this particular episode. Anyway, everybody was arguing and fussing and fighting. Bubba said he didn't have to Joy didn't have to welcome the Keisha into the home because that was his kid, and he said he wasn't even married. He had two girlfriends. I think it was Aunt Cheryl. Aunt Sharon said, "Well, you need to tell your wife that." And then he was telling her like, "Oh, you should have had kids," which was very nasty, Bubba. That was very nasty. And then she was like, "I can't believe you said that right now." She was going off. So everybody was going off on each other, telling each other to shut up and stuff. Lakeisha was going off on Bubba. Somebody was trying to jump in and tag in. She was like, "No, no, no, I got this." She been waiting for this smoke with Bubba. Somebody was trying to hold her back. It was like, "Get off me, get off me." They was just going. Everybody was like, "You should, you should." It was getting heated. Nicole said, "No, what we not gonna do is be mean to each other and disrespect each other." She had to bring them all together moment. So then Nicole, I think it finally clicked for her what Lakeisha's going through because everyone's arguing and it's about Lakeisha at the end of the day. At the end of the day. And it's like, how would you feel? Try not to sneeze. How would you feel if you what is on my face, child? How would you feel if that was you? And that was Nicole's feeling, and she said it in the confessional. And she said, "Lakeisha is not leaving here today. She is family. She is gonna stay here." And then they decided to pray, and then they came together in Jesus' name. And I feel like this whole scene, this whole beginning scene was very real. It was a very real family moment. I don't believe nobody was acting. It was getting very much real family moment, and I was here for it. Okay, so they prayed about it. Next day, everybody's just kind of like shocked on what happened. Nicole was, struggling. She really needed Larry that day. He was outside. Anyway, Lakeisha talked to Karamel about it, and Lakeisha hadn't talked to her dad in a while, and she's back in good spirits. But she said, she's not tripping. She said it did bring her and Nicole closer together. Now Monet, I don't know if it was episode 7 or episode 8. We find out that Monet and Quita got into it because Monet was, Monet was basically on her mama's side, which is understandable, right? And so Keita felt like Monet disrespected her mom, Aunt Jackie, right? So now they got a whole thing, and Quita was saying, Monet, you was too young. But Monet, at the end of the day, was in a situation too. I don't think they should discount her because she was a little younger than Nicole and Lakeisha. She was in it too, and she ain't that much younger, in my opinion. So everybody's just dealing with the aftermath of that situation. We do see what's the girls, Jaquita, and Jermisha go to Nicole's house to kind of talk about everything that happened. And they said that, we could see that the wall really came down with you and Lakeisha, like asking her, why did you feel you had to defend her in that moment? She said what she said in the confession, like, how would you feel if that was you? And so at some point, Nicole felt like, she understood Lakeisha, and Lakeisha finally understood like her point of view as well. And I think the girls did understand each other, and they've been getting closer and checking on each other since that moment has happened, right? And so then Jermisha brings up the fact that Nicole was over there on the sidelines at the rodeo roundup talking to Granny about the whole property thing. How she was trying to pitch an idea. So they was like, "Girl, would you trying to snake us, go behind our back and pitch an idea?" And so Nicole's thing is, Granny gonna do what Granny gonna do. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. What Granny say. What Granny say. So Nicole said, she's on the G2 side, but she know how Granny is as well. So they was like, we just need to know you are on G2 side, girl. Don't be playing, basically was their issue. Also, we see Monet and Nicole go to see a luxury home. It's for one of the Houston, Texans football players. Of course, he's not showing the home. It was like somebody, in his camp or assistant or somebody showing the home. But anyway, so it was very, very, very nice luxury home. I think it's going to be listed at like $4 million. Beautiful house, beautiful house, beautiful house. So they're trying to get into the luxury space more, and so they're going to be doing that. He said he would get back to them, but we find out in the next episode that he is going to be hiring them to sell the house, right, as their listing agent. Speaking of that, we also seen Quita showing her cousin from her father's side some homes, and she was talking about I forgot what they called it, but I didn't know it was a proper name for it. I forgot the name it was. Rent to what was it? Rent something model or split rent model, something like that. Basically, like you get a duplex and you live on one side and you rent the other side. Like we talk about doing that all the time. I didn't know it was a proper real estate term for it though. So we seen that as well in episode 7. Now moving on to episode 8, and we want to tie some of this together as well. So stick with me. In that episode, we did see Nicole speaking. She came home from work, I believe, and she was speaking with her husband and her husband's father, Big Larry, and her daughter was there. And so the daughter was she was being a kid on camera that time. So anyway, she don't want to talk about having an adopted sibling. Larry don't want to make her uncomfortable in the home. Nicole's thing is she's a child. It's our job to make her comfortable and accepting of it. They feel like, she has that only child syndrome and she's not going to want another kid around. But then Nicole said she talks about being lonely. I could see both Larry and Nicole's points of view. If I were them, I would speak to like a child counselor, child psychologist, child therapist, or somebody like that to really gain insight on how to tackle this correctly, because I wouldn't want that force on it on the girl, on their daughter, and then she feels some type of way all the time about it. But at the same time, I get Nicole's point, like she's gonna have to gain some understanding, like it's not all about you, you can't be the only child forever. But hopefully they work that out later on episode, because they really did a good job. I did enjoy, first of all, the season was done very well, very good. I enjoyed the last episode how they kind of took every storyline and they wrapped it up in a bow, right? They wrapped it up in a bow. And at the end of the episode, Nicole said if she could not adopt, she would be brokenhearted. She would be hurt. Hopefully they are able to adopt. We find out that Lakeisha and Karamel, God, I was wanting to call that girl Treasure. She looked like her name should be Treasure. I think I know a girl named Treasure that got hair like that. So she looked like her name should be Treasure, but I know it's Karamel. Y'all know I'll mess up a name over here. So anyway, they had on their matching yellow little dresses in the house. I said they be matching, okay. I didn't know couples be matching like that. So anyway, they got their house, and I think we had found this out before anyway. They got their house. They're everyone had their blended family. Looks like a nice house. And Jackie came by to, give them some housewarming flowers and talk to them. And Jackie, she was checking on Lakeisha, see how she was doing. And she did encourage her to, not wait too late to make amends with her dad. Now they're showing these scenes at the same time they're showing the scenes with Monet and her mom, Joy, right? Because we're getting the opposite point of view. We're getting to them. We were getting to them. So anyway, so they were asking Aunt Jackie, like, okay, now 7 years, did Bubba try to make the effort? Did he ever, do anything? I guess he really didn't. They said, like, did you just do it, like, because you guys wanted to see her, or you were doing it because Bubba should have? And so they were like, we genuinely wanted to, love on Keisha, and like we should, like all the other kids got love. We wanted to love on her also, and so that's why they went and got her all the time, and so they wanted her to be a part of the family, and that's what it was, and so that's understandable. I don't think there's anything wrong if the aunts find out about this kid, and I wonder how they found out. Now that's what I would be curious to know. I don't know if somebody knew Lakeisha's mom or not. And Lakeisha had a plant that was like to honor her mom as well. I don't know if they knew her or how, but I would be curious to know how that happened, right? Now across town, Ms. Joy, she went over there to Monet's house, and Monet has a little 7-year-old daughter as well. I think her name was Blake, and they were making candy or something like that. Anyway, she told the little girl to leave their room. Joy was like, in her room. Anyway, they were talking about what happened at the crab boil. And so Joy was like, at the end of the day, she don't know what Lakeisha expect, because her mom's the one that got with a man who was already taken. He was living with me, and I was pregnant, so I don't know what she expected. She was the other woman. And so Monet is like, yeah, I can't understand. I can't imagine what my mom went through. Like, of seeing Lakeisha, that was a constant reminder of the hurt and everything. And so Joy said that the aunties sharing, somebody called and said, you know what, we're not gonna go get Lakeisha anymore all the time. If it's bothering you, we'll just do the birthdays. And so she was like, girl, I don't care what you do. Like, that's y'all money. How y'all want to do? Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. She said, Joy says she not losing no sleep at night over Keisha not being there. She didn't feel like it was her responsibility. She said that's on Bubba and Keisha's mom, that situation. She said that is not on her. Okay. She said she not finna be Rashida. Because you see where Rashida at right now. She not finna make sure the little girl included. Nope. Not gonna do it. She said she sleep. When she lay her head down at night, she goes straight to sleep. She don't toss and turn. She don't have no problem. She said, y'all not gonna take my joy, because that's my name. That's what she said. Okay, and she said at the end of the day, because Monet's thing is like, everybody worried about how Lakeisha feel, but then you think about how, I felt, my mom felt, and all that. And Monet, I get it. She said she wanted to defend her mom through and through. I get it. Her mom had to be constantly reminded and all that by seeing Lakeisha. I don't know. I know people felt like it was messy or it was wrong. Some people agreed. I was raised like how Aunt Jackie and Aunt Sharon and Aunt Cheryl did. That's how I was raised. Like, we're not gonna just let the kids be on the outside and not do nothing. Like, my mom was okay with us having our brother over that was not her child, that was my dad's child. Like, we weren't raised like that. So that's why, to me, I don't see it as messy or wrong. Like, we're not gonna be separating kids and all that. Like, no, that's just how the history of my family is. Even like before us, even my mom's generation, when they had situations like that, they didn't separate kids like that. And I get the hurt, the pain for the woman. I'm not taking that away from nobody. But kids didn't ask to be born into mess. And they should be able to be a part of their family, right? Now, speaking of that, because Monet said, well, girl, how we gonna move forward, mama? And so Joy said, she looked at Lakeisha differently in that moment, because Lakeisha was, getting rah, rah, rah with Bubba. And she said that was disrespectful. And I don't care what you're going through. Like, that's your parent. You don't do that. So she looking at Lakeisha differently. And then Joy said that Lakeisha need to feel blessed to be born into the Braden family anyway. I said, what? Like, that's what just came out your mouth, Joy? That's what came out your mouth? That she need to be blessed to be born into the family? That she needs to feel blessed to be born into the family? Because Joy's thing was like, I was married to him, I was engaged to him, but he said he had two girlfriends, Joy. That's what he said, girl. He said he had two girlfriends. And I'm sorry, because Joy trying to make it like, well, girl, I got the ring. He was in my house. He could have been with her if he wanted to. Like, girl, he played you and her. No. No. Joy, girl, no. Anyway, I ain't trying to disrespect Miss Joy no kind of way, but girl, just the stuff you was saying was just not it. Not it. And then she was going on and on about, like, she don't feel no responsibility. She don't feel no waist tied. She not gonna be bothered. And Monet's look on her face was disappointment. And she was like, well, that, she's in our family. And Monet, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't take your mama's side, but I'm just saying. Did you just hear your mama? Did you just hear her? Anyway, I did mention that we found out that, they are going to be showing the $4 million house of the football player, and they're going to be using that to launch their luxury brand. So they're going to have a big launching party at that house. That party looked fabulous. I would love to go to an event like that. We saw Jermisha and Jaquita talking, because Jaquita want to get a new house, but she want to have her ducks in a row. Chris did decide to take the contract to like step up to the plate, but she wants to have more kids and do all this stuff. She just wants to make sure her family is ready. She said when real estate gets slow, she get back down, because she's a pharmacist, so she go back down to the Walgreens or Rite Aid or Kroger's. I don't know what y'all got in Houston, and she do her pharmacy work when when real estate gets slow. I ain't mad at you. You better maintain that pharmacy license, girl. I know that's right. And Jermisha was just saying how much she got on her plate with the project, with the house. Oh, speaking of not the house, but the property. So I forgot to mention episode 7. She showed. I think that's where, episode 7 and 8 actually tied in, is when Jermisha is doing her presentation. Granny, wasn't sure because they were saying, you got to have $1 million up front. It's going to be a 5-year process. She said, one of the aunts spoke up for Granny and said that, they're from the old school model where you start building something, you finish it through, you don't drag it out for 5 years, you get it all done until it's done. And so they're like, why are we doing that? And so the Sheldon's basically explained just so that you can kind of see your capital and revenue and gains better if you kind of spread it out and not have to put so much money in up front. So I get both perspectives. And so Jermisha, she was being real dramatic in the beginning, so they weren't taking her seriously. But then when she started being serious, they did take her seriously. Then she had everybody go to the land and be on the land and, discussed it more and explained how much. So they're going to do a rent model, not the hybrid model, a rent, all renting. And so, it will be a big long-term gain on that. And so Granny ended up saying yes, that she was on board. And so they were, happy. And later on at the real estate event, they said, they wanted to use this to honor Papa. And I think and Nikki got a plaque or something like that. Anyway, then I think that's pretty much the main, things happening. We get to the real estate event. Aunt Joy and Bubba came. And Joy talking about she wanted a picture with the family. She said, I want one with you, Nicole, and Monet. Monet was like, let's get Lakeisha. She was like, I want one with you and Nicole. Joy made that very clear. Monet, you knew what she wanted, girl. So Lakeisha said she was happy to be out that family photo because that's what they always do anyway. And Aunt Nikki took a picture with Lakeisha. Karamel didn't come down to the event. They were working tirelessly to get this event together. It just came out beautiful, beautiful. Granny came. Granny said $4 million was too much for her. I bet you Granny got the money, but anyway, maybe not. So Jaquita pulled Monet aside to talk about the whole disrespect to Aunt Jackie, and Monet gave her no apology. She basically said we was all heated. There's no disrespect intended. You was defending your mama, I was defending my mom, and that's what it was. And she said she don't feel no way tired about what happened either. Okay. And so Quita said one thing about Monet, she got a lot of Aunt Joy in her. I was like, she kind of do. I see it. No shade, Monet. I like Monet as well. But Monet, Nicole, and Lakeisha had a little sister huddle, and they said they want to get closer and move forward. And Nicole doesn't think Lakeisha's really doing better, but I think they're just all happy they can see each other's side of it. And I think Monet's thing is like Monet and Nicole both felt like the family thought that they were so sheltered, but they didn't know like that they knew what was going on as well. Yeah, that situation, that family, it happens in other families. It's just very interesting to see it all play out, right? Nicole's hunting around the house for Chris because Chris said he wasn't excited about shooting these houses. He's tired of it. He wants to do something more meaningful. He wants to get into documentaries and things like that. I think he should start, creating his own stuff, put it on YouTube, doing something. But he said, he's only really doing this to keep his wife happy. And that kind of sucks because you could tell he was like bored. And so she was looking for him. They brought in luxury cars for the photo shoot and all that. And so Nicole was saying like, contract Chris, I hope you're happy. Are you doing okay? She's checking in on him. She made him give her a hug. And he was like, she should have just gave me a handshake. Like, it was very uncomfortable. I was like, don't be giving too much to it, Chris, now. Anyway, they had a lot of people come. The client's brother came, I believe. And so the house is not listed yet, but they are going to be listing the house pretty soon. And yeah, like I said, they're just kind of wrapping up the stories. Chris does not want to continue to work at Braden. He plans to not work there pretty soon. He said his goal is to eventually not work there anymore. So they kind of wrapped up that storyline. And then like I said, Lakeisha, Nicole, Monet thing, they wrapped that up. Hopefully Lakeisha does try to. I mean, do y'all think Lakeisha should try to make amends with her dad? Like, of course she should. You don't want to things to be too late, but sometimes you can't. Like if it's toxic, I don't recommend people forcing themselves to make amends if they are in like a toxic situation, right? So hopefully she can though. What was the other major storyline? And then Jermisha is going to be working on this project with the Sheldons. I think that was it. They, like I said, they wrapped it all up in a bow. If I forgot anything like super important, y'all let me know in the comments. But yeah, that was Family Empire Houston. I hope they get a second season. I thought it was a great show. I think we are done with Friday nights for now, y'all, until Ready to Love comes back. I think Ready to Love is going to be Saturdays, though. I swore I saw Saturday somewhere on there, on the advertisement, which I prefer Ready to Love on Fridays, but we will pivot. Yeah, but y'all let me know what y'all thought of the season. Would you watch it? Do you think they need a season 2? They did not. I guess they did not get a reunion. Do you think they needed a reunion? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.